Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing U.S. tourist visa applications, specifically from the embassy here in Thailand. And something the reason I'm making this video, I basically want people to have a good notion of what they're dealing with when it comes to the U.S. tourist visa application from Thailand. And what I mean to say is, I think a lot of folks have some presumptions, usually folks that have never dealt with the immigration apparatus before. For example, those who have a loved one who's Thai, for example, a spouse or a girlfriend or a fiance, boyfriend, husband, these types of things. The folks who are Americans, I should say, folks who are the citizens of any country oftentimes have very little idea about how the immigration apparatus works in that country because, quite frankly, they never have to deal with it. The tourist visa is one of these situations I have found over the years where people have misconceptions about how it works, what people are looking for with respect to it, and that's why I thought I'd go ahead and make this video. So, the thing to know going into the tourist visa application is what's called Section 214B of the Immigration Nationality Act. And specifically, Section 214B creates the mandate that the consular officer adjudicating the visa application be satisfied that the applicant shows strong ties to their home country, in this case Thailand, and weak ties to the United States. Now, a lot of folks fail to understand that they usually get the strong ties part, but oftentimes proving the weak ties can be a real problem. That's going to be circumstantially dependent, but to sum things up with respect to Thailand, in a lot of cases where there's an American loved one or family member involved, you're going to see a much higher incidence of denial with respect to those cases. I mean, it's a pretty high incidence of denial, I should say, where there is a loved one, be it a spouse, a family member, whatever, in the United States, because that weak ties analysis comes into play, and that can prove to be a problem. Tourist visas are not just sort of a formality. You should not view them that way. They're an adjudication, and they are oftentimes denied. The other thing that I think is good to keep in mind with respect to going into a tourist visa process is it's probably not necessary to hire a service of any kind. I don't think I don't think there's a great deal of value. We don't really do a lot of non-immigrant visas here at the office. We don't deal with a lot of tourist visas. There's the occasional case that involves some finer point of law that we may need to deal with. Oftentimes it's in a waiver context. But by and large, I really don't deal with tourist visas from the standpoint that I don't feel that there's a lot of value added. And most folks can do it themselves. Also, at least here in Thailand, the high incidence of denial of those cases causes me to not want to take them from a client management standpoint, as I don't really want my clients to have sort of a bad taste in their mouth. So the thing to take away from this video with regard to visa services is, it's one thing to hire somebody to translate a document, but if they say, oh, we're going to help you and prepare, I don't really think there's any value added by anybody, and especially where they're not qualified to provide any immigration advice. They're just somebody putting together documentation. Most of the process these days is done online, and folks need to pretty much do it themselves. I just don't really think it's a good idea to engage any kind of a service with respect to a tourist visa. But the thing I would hope people take away from this video is perhaps more realistic expectations with respect to a U.S. tourist visa application for a Thai loved one. We hope you find our videos insightful. If so, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so that you can receive up-to-date notifications of legal news in Thailand and the United States.